Hi, and welcome back to Military Law Talks. So today's video is about the SCRA, the Servicemembers Civil Relief Act, SCRA. Say that 5 times fast, right? So the SCRA is actually an act. It's an act of Congress, so it was passed by Congress, signed into law by the president, that provides several protections to military members. And so this is going to be the first of a multi-part video series about the SCRA. So in this video, we're just going to talk about the basics. What is the SCRA? A little bit about the history, just kind of a broad overview video. And then I will do detailed videos about different specific provisions within the SCRA. And most of these videos, the audience are service members, either active duty or reserve or National Guard, and spouses. So the Servicemembers Civil Relief Act also has new updates that include spouses as well. And so there's been many protections in federal law for service members dating back all the way to post-Civil War. And so the SCRA is really the modern version of it. And so it was passed in 2003, and it updated the Soldiers and Sailors Civil Relief Act. And so it's like kind of a modern update, but it retained a lot of the same features of that previous law. And so the modern SCRA, it has lots of different provisions. And so what those provisions include mortgage relief, protection from eviction. So if you're a service member and you are in a home and you potentially could face eviction, there are certain protections on eviction, termination of leases, both housing leases and auto leases. And in that video, I'm going to get really specific about the differences, because depending on the length of your orders will depend on whether or not you can cancel auto leases versus home leases. So length of order, particularly for those Reserve National Guard members, that has specific differences between auto leases and home leases, or housing, apartments, etc. There's also a 6% cap on interest rates. So most people, when they think of SCRA, that is what they think of. They think of that 6% cap on interest rates, so you can lower your pre-debt or your pre-military service debt to 6% interest while you're in military service. You can also get a stay of judicial proceedings and a reopening of default judgments. So if you've had a default judgment in a case that maybe you didn't even know about because you weren't properly served, you were in the military, you weren't even in the state where the case took place, you could potentially get that reopened because of your military service. Also, for our professionals, for lawyers, doctors that have their own practice, a private practice, and have medical malpractice insurance or legal malpractice insurance, there are certain provisions that can, under the SCRA, that allows you to pause that professional malpractice insurance and not face any adverse consequences when you resume that insurance coverage when you leave active duty service, like when your orders are over, mobilization ends, deployment ends, things like that. And also, under the SCRA, you can retain residency in the state where you're domiciled, where you plan to return after military service. And that also has been extended to protect spouses as well. So that's really important for tax consequences. So again, I'm going to have specific videos on all of these different provisions within the SCRA to go into more detail about how the SCRA protects service members and spouses, particularly in that residency portion where you can retain for tax purposes and driver's license and all different types, even professional licensing. You can retain your state of residency, even if you leave that state and go to a different state, if that's due to military service. And then know that the SCRA is a federal law. It applies to active duty service members, reservists, and National Guard in a Title X status. So National Guardsmen who are activated maybe in state service, right, just in a Title 32 status, there may be specific state protections in your specific state, but my video is this video and the future videos I'll do will just focus on the federal law, the SCRA. And so you may have some state specific protections. So if you're in a Title 32 status, you may want to check your particular state and see if you have any particular state protections. And then just to kind of explain SCRA broad overview, know that attorneys, lawyers, judges, they should be interpreting the SCRA really in the favor of the service member. And so there's a Supreme Court case, and I'm just going to quote it. It says that the SCRA should be read and interpreted with an eye, quote, an eye friendly to those who dropped their affairs to answer their country's call. And that's really the crux of the SCRA. It is designed to, when you either initially join the military, or if you're a reservist, National Guard, and you're called up to service. And sometimes, right, you get those orders in really short notice. You don't have a whole lot of time to plan your affairs. This law kicks in to protect your rights while you are serving your country. So like I said, look for those future videos. This is a multi-part series, and so I will do future videos on those specific provisions, but this was just a broad overview video on the SCRA. So thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please click the like button, share this video out there, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks. See you in the next video.